And of course, that's happening, Willie, not only in Syria and in Iraq. Now, the news this morning, really bad. It continues. Now focus in Egypt, focus in Pakistan, two of the most important countries in the world, certainly in the Muslim world. And the United States, whether they like it or not, are going to have to get involved and stop the spread of this.
Focus on all these foreign entanglements. Everyone was wrapped up in the midterms for a month or so. Now you open the paper today and you say, wait a minute, how's the progress been? This has been more than 90 days at this point. How is this effort going? Are we doing enough? Are we doing too little? Should we even be there? I think this debate heats up again now because, as you say, despite our best efforts, more problems are flaring up through the region.
The president loves leading from behind. There's just, you're not going to be able to lead from behind on this anymore. I mean, you're hearing admirals talking about, retired admirals talking about how what they're seeing is insufficient. You're hearing commanders complaining about it. The president likes to go halfway in, a little bit at a time, just sort of things. It's just not going to work here. I don't think it's going to work here. Am I wrong?
When you combine it with the fact that you have a new Armed Services Committee chair in the Senate in the form of John McCain, you have Lindsey Graham, who will be empowered, their voices empowered. I think to Willie's point, if you'd have said to this president 8 months ago, Mr. President, you'd be on the verge of perhaps deploying several thousand troops to a region in which you promised to end conflict, he'd probably find that laughable. In fact, it probably calls for a measured approach now and a more balanced approach. It's neither, you can't pull all the way out or stay all the way in. It's going to take a different kind of approach. And the president will be prodded in ways by this new Republican Senate to do things he probably is not inclined to do, but will be forced to do.
I just wonder, Mike, if it's not becoming more and more clear that history is going to show that George W. Bush went too far, it's too excessive, too prepared to use force. And Barack Obama overcorrected, and we're paying a terrible price for it right now. And if he does not change, if he does not do what every other president does, what Bill Clinton did, what FDR did, what Ronald Reagan did, what George W. Bush did, and learn from his past mistakes, if he stays isolated in a bubble, there will be a tremendous price for America to pay. And I'm not saying to go invade the Middle East. I'm saying to get out of your defensive crouch and get out of your bubble and figure out what's going on here and start connecting the dots. It's frightening as hell. And if I had met one ambassador across the world, if I'd met one world leader across the world that wasn't scared as hell at how the United States is responding to this threat, I wouldn't be speaking this way, because I always assume the president and the president's advisors know a hell of a lot more about stuff than those of us that don't get the intel reports. Well, but I am hearing this from around the globe. This is really, really bad. And America's scaring the hell out of the world.